Anyway, let me start. My topic. I just did a video on my series that I started called "I Am Kogi Presents Romance," and it was about self-love and about how to declutter your life. And I just did that video, so I'm gonna edit it up, and then I'm gonna put it out. Inshallah, be out tomorrow or the day after, depending on how long it takes me to edit it. But I'll be putting out that real soon. But there's another part of the video that I wanted to share, but I didn't really feel that the topic I was talking about was necessarily connected to this thing I wanted to talk about. And I wanted to talk about the defense and the protection of our women. And something that I heard, I read that West Craven talked about the fact that we don't deal with these pedophiles and rapists in our community. A lot of times, our young women and young men get victimized because we are too weak to report people that we may know that are child molesters and that are rapists. Some of our women are dating men that are willing to go and take advantage of children or their niece or their nephew or their child. I want to say this clearly. Look, we cannot, and as a woman, I'll say this to women specifically, right in this point. You cannot be so damn hard up for a man that you will let some man in your life, not the father of the children, not some boyfriend, not no goddamn body in your life that will take advantage of your children. If we call ourselves responsible adults, responsibility has to do with duty. When I have a child, my duty is to clothe, to feed, to protect that child. And protection doesn't mean I just put a roof over the child's head or I make sure that they have clothes on their back. My duty is, as their mother and their father, is that I must pledge myself that if anybody, if it means their own father, does anything to them, I will do everything in my power to bring down that person. Either I'm going to do everything I can to put you in prison, or I'm going to kill you. Either or. We cannot be so weak that we know we have people in our community that are taking advantage of our women. No matter what, if they look like us, if they're your so-called friends and family, and you do nothing. See, we say Black Lives Matter, and Black lives do matter, but it has to matter more to us that we take care of our families and our children, that we allow our children to be able to grow up in a space that they're protected and that they feel safe. Our children should not deal with the mess of our lives. When we have clutter, that mess doesn't just deal with us. It touches them. If you had parents that were on drugs, we as children, when we saw our parents on drugs, we had to deal with that. If you had parents who were convicts or stealing or doing it, you had to deal with that. Well, if you got a man and a woman, or a man specifically, who is preying upon young women, young girls, and he's your man, supposedly, in quotes, man, and you know that he's out there doing dirt, and you are so damn hard up for him that you're not willing to do nothing to change up the reality, to make sure that our children are safe, then you are just as guilty as that man is. And whatever befalls that man should befall you as well. because you're just as guilty as that man is. We have to stop making excuses for why our communities and our women and our children are not being protected the way they are. I've had many women tell me about how they've been molested. I've had many women tell me how they've been raped. I've had many women tell me how they've been disrespected, beaten, and different things like that in their life. And we know these things and we do nothing. When I saw West Craven and I seen all these posts about talking about pedophiles and stuff like that, you're damn right we should be talking about that. Because that's something that's in our community. And they should not be around our community and walking around free and it's all good. It's not all good. You know, we have all this bad man talk in our songs. If a dude look at you the wrong way, you want to do something. If a dude get at your girl, you want to do him something, right? But if a dude is a pedophile, you don't want to do nothing. If a dude is a rapist, you don't want to do nothing. You just want to sit back and let him take advantage of our future. And then act like, well, you know, whatever. You know, put in the back of our minds or block it out. We can't block it out. It's our responsibility when we have children to protect them with everything we got. Fear can't be a factor when it comes to the protection of our children. Fear cannot be a factor when it comes to the protection of our daughters or our wives or our sisters. It can't be a factor. The fact must be that if we know someone that is doing this, we must do something about it. Now, I ain't saying, oh, go kill them and stuff like that. I'm saying, I mean, if you want to, I mean, they deserve it, in truth. But we ain't all built like that. And I'm not saying that's a solution to everything. But that should be reported and spoken about. Our children, and especially our young girls and young boys, should know nothing but safety. When we roll through a community, I don't look at the young kids around my community and feel, oh, those are somebody else's kids. These are much our children is their children. We should feel a certain responsibility to make sure at least that child was able to go home. At least that child will not be messed with. At least that child can play in the park or in the street or wherever you see them, and no one's gonna mess around with them and leave them alone. That would be really good. That we can have that kind of protection in our communities. It would be good. You know, when we see women in the street, if you see a man beating a woman up, you can't stand by and, you know, tape it and, oh, world star it. This ain't world star, man. This is the real world. We can't allow these type of things because these type of things take down the future of our community. It says, I believe it was the Honorable Muhammad that said, if you teach a man, you teach an individual. Maybe not the Honorable Muhammad said it, but the saying says that if you teach a man, you teach an individual. But if you teach a woman, you teach a nation. Well, if we don't put value in our women, and we don't protect them, and we don't protect the children that we have, then we have no value. And then ultimately we have no future. We build no future if their life is not safe. If we have children and their lives are not valued nor protected, since they are the future, they are the ones that are going to continue on after we are long gone. After I die, my daughters are what I have left. My daughters, my stepsons, that's what's going to continue after me. So then my responsibility is to make sure that they are protected, that they are loved, that they know that love. Some of us need to buy parenting books to know how to properly raise our children. some of us need a lot of re-education in the way we treat our children. We spend too much time screaming at them, yelling at them, and mistreating them, and not putting in enough time to really love them properly and care for them properly and educate them properly and learn how to properly communicate with them. But at the same time, we don't put enough time in ourselves to put in the spirit in us that we set the line in our mind that if anyone would dare cross the line to put their hands on a child, a young woman, a young man, I don't want to be friends with somebody I know is a rapist. I don't want to be friends with someone I know that's a woman beater. I don't want to be friends with a dude like that. That's somebody that has a problem. That is somebody that needs professional help. Something happened in their life that got them there. And they need somebody to help them with that. And if somebody is happy to do that, is into that, I mean, they got these societies. If you look around, watch these documentaries, I mean, they got societies where, these pedophiles, they have their own like little social media type things, I think. There was a couple years ago, maybe 10 years ago or something like that, they fought for a law that could be able to see, young boys and girls, naked long as they were drawn in the picture. I mean, that's the Epstein documentary, if those of you watch that. I mean, these type of things are what's going on right now. We need to be paying attention and doing better with this. Pedophiles should not be living in our communities. Rapists should not be living in our communities. And if you are a woman and you got a man, and your man is a pedophile, he's taking advantage of your children. If it's his children or the boyfriend or whatever, and you're sitting by, you're just as responsible as him. You may as well be raping him your damn self. And you are a piece of shit. Straight up. And there's no way that you should get over. There's no way you should be living in our communities safe and doing that. You should be gone. Unless you have some sickness, some disease, schizophrenia, something like that we can put you in some type of mental hospital, you should be in a prison cell or underneath the ground. Something like that. There's no way that that's excusable. And we got to do better by our own people. And, I say all this because, a situation that come to me of recent, of a family member that went through something that has got me very, very upset and disturbed. And, it's funny how people are. We say we love each other, but what did we do to show that love? Here's a child, you grow up with this child your whole life, man. You see this child grow up, you see this child become, a woman, a man. And you turn around and they get in a situation with somebody that you're with and you don't do nothing? Like, nothing? You sitting around making excuses for this person? Are you out of your mind? Is something wrong with you? How can we do that? How can we turn around and do something like that? How can we turn around and make excuses for this type of behavior? This is something that happens in families all the time. You got guys in your community right now. Look at your little daughter. Gotten all kinds of thoughts. I used to remember growing up, hearing grown men looking at little girls. Not like 20, 30, 25 young girls. Little girls. And say, man, she got a nice, nice butt, man. She gonna look real good when she grow up. You know what I mean? This is how dudes would talk. They are preying upon they're looking upon your daughter every single day. Wake the hell up. Don't put your daughters in the streets like that. Because there are men out there that will talk to them, try to get at them, and will sleep with them in a second. Will rape them, will molest them, and them girls will feel so ashamed they will not want to come back and tell you. Because that whole thing is a psychological game. I mean, if you watch that R. Kelly thing, R. Kelly documentary, I mean, after I watched that, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? It is psychological. You watch the Epstein documentary, damn, it's psychological. And if we want a better world, then we gotta have a world that our women are safe. Our young girls, our young women are safe. Then we have to have that. Or what are we doing out here? If we get all the rights we want, the police get off our necks. If we, you know what I mean, we still got all of our inner issues to deal with. And there's a lot of things that we need to talk about that we're not talking about, and that's definitely one of them. We got to talk about what's going on inside our homes, and what kind of relationships, what kind of things that we know about that we ain't saying nothing about. And I'm saying to you, let's deal with that. Don't be no damn, I mean, this goes off. You rapist niggas, like, I mean, straight up. If you out there messing up, man, trust me, then your day is coming. Your day is coming. Because soon as myself, right dudes find out, you're done. Done. I mean, done. Because we can't have that. We can't have that. Guys like that need to be somewhere else. And it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what kind of, if they're your friends, what kind of friends do you have? It says something about you. It says something about the kind of company we keep as men. It says something about us. The kind of company you keep as a woman says something about you. So, I'm just going to cut it off from here. Let's deal with that. If you sisters, any of you sisters who've been taken advantage of, I'd love to talk to some of our community leaders to find a way that we can make some type of organization to be able to make women safe. One of my greatest, desires is to build a house, and I want to use the word shelter, but build a house where all these young girls who've been in bad situations, girls who've been pimped, girls who've been molested, girls who've been beaten, girls who don't have a place to stay, who've been thrown out the house because maybe their parents or whatever the case may be, they have a sanctuary they can go to. Maybe something like that already exists and I don't already know. But I would love to build something like that. A place where women can come and they can be safe there. They would have nothing but safety, re-education, everything that they needed to make their life a better place. That's what they deserve. Women are precious. They are given to us by God. They are God's. And they should be protected. And it starts with our little babies, man. We got to protect them. And we have to be more diligent with that. And even if they're not our children, man, if you got it in your heart, if you're a soldier, man, then protect your community, protect your baby. Don't allow no pedophiles. I don't care if it's your brother, I don't care if it's your best friend. If you know he doing that, man, you gotta do something about that, man. Get your friend some help. Get your friend, let him go.